Aramis.
No. Woohoo! Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, it still feels quite
Oh
bright.
gosh, it does look bright.
That's rubbish.
We've just bought some new blinds, and they've got a blackout lining. You wouldn't know from that, would you? Is that a bit better or is that a bit darker?
Is it me that makes it worse?
Oh well, that's okay, I think.
It's seeping in the side. Oh well.
Yeah, I think.
Do you know what? I think it was better before.
Was it better before?
Yeah, it is. It's such a shame you can't. Like,
it's a constant battle on the light front.
Yeah, it is, because it couldn't really be any darker, but I think it's because the sun is.
It's quite.
It's sneaking down the side.
It's coming down the sides. I know.
Cheeky sun.
Is it okay? Can you see?
Of course, it's okay.
Can you see? Okay, everyone.
Can you see me do this? I love that scene in Woody.
Sasha. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. No, who's that?
Oh, you do that all the time.
Do I do that all the time?
It's the Truman Show. You can't stand him.
I can't stand him. I'm sorry.
Have you seen Sleeper?
No.
Have you seen Sleeper with Woody Allen?
I don't like Woody Allen.
Oh, stop it!
I don't think he's funny.
Oh,
I'm really sorry.
Stop it! You've offended me, so I'm sure you'll have offended people out there. But the lady is in it from Father of the Bride, Diane Keaton.
Oh right.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Diane Keaton, isn't it? Who's seen Sleeper and knows it's Diane Keaton? Someone will know. It's really cool. It's a funny film.
Patricia agreed with me. Whatever I was saying, I can't remember.
That you don't like Woody Allen?
Okay.
Yes. Gail, important question. Gemma Terry, when you had your cold pizza for breakfast, did you put salad cream on the top?
But will Gemma even know what salad cream is?
Well, we shall find out.
Because I think salad cream's a very British thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know that salad cream's a thing in other countries.
Is it?
Do you all know what salad cream is? We should have brought a bottle up, shouldn't we? Oh, she said she had ranch dressing.
So she's with me,
you
sort of.
used to live in England. Gemma, you know exactly what salad cream is. So ranch dressing, I don't know, is that similar to salad cream?
Ish.
It's a similar kind of substance.
Yes.
But probably the taste is a little bit different.
Well, it's very different.
Is it?
Yes.
What does ranch dressing taste like?
Different to salad cream.
Well, that's useful, isn't it?
Salad cream, for me, it reminds me of ketchup.
It's like a white ketchup.
Yeah. So, when you said to me, what are you doing putting salad cream on top of a cold pizza?
Yeah.
That to me seemed crazy.
Well, the whole thing seems crazy because I've never eaten cold pizza.
Oh, cold pizza's great.
I've never had cold pizza.
I mean, it's unfortunate that I can't really eat pizza anymore because dough just doesn't do me any favours at all. But
Michelle, I love Heinz salad cream as well.
We go through an immense amount of salad cream.
My favourite type of sandwich is, I've been having some gluten-free bread lately,
actually,
and it's been working. I got some from Sainsbury's the other day, and I can't remember the make of it, but it's just gluten-free rolls, and I had cheddar cheese, tomato, and salad cream.
When?
Yesterday.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool.
Delicious. Love salad cream.
What did you put in your sandwich today? There wasn't a salad cream in it today. Oh, sorry. But didn't you put salad cream into that fishy mess?
I like tuna mayonnaise today, but with no mayonnaise. I don't like mayonnaise.
Did you put salad cream in?
Yes, I did.
There you go. See?
Salad cream and a little bit of ketchup. So it's like a Marie Rose sauce.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking 3 minutes is probably enough on salad cream.
We've obviously spoken way too much about salad cream.
So, folks, what a show. Oh, my goodness. There's going to be some yarn talk.
Mm-hmm.
We're sort of previewing Kay's famous top 5 yarns series.
Right.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Your top 5 yarns of 2019 will be coming on the 31st of December, right at that period between when the Advent calendar's finished and the new year is beginning.
That dead zone.
That is the moment when you'll be unleashing on the world your top 5 yarns.
Gosh, right. Thanks for telling me that I've got to think about that.
Today, though, we're just sort of throwing around, not literally, although that would be fun.
Throwing some yarn around.
Can you imagine having a yarn ball fight?
Well, you could do that, couldn't you?
It would be tremendous.
Oh, you couldn't do it with expensive stuff, though. I'd be a bit...
Vicuna.
No, we couldn't be... We couldn't be throwing around the Vicuna, could we?
We could have a Vicuna yarn ball fight. It'd be marvellous.
Can I just say?
Yes, of course you can. We'll let you. Will we?
I bought a skein of yarn last week from Luke in London.
It wasn't Vicuna.
It wasn't Vicuna. I bought a skein of Madeleine Tosh sock. I could go and get it. I'll go and get it in a sec. And I bought it from Loop in London. And I've spoken about Loop before, and this is just a personal experience, but the way that they package their yarn and send it to you, do you know, I'm not that impressed. It was in like a paper bag, and that was great. But what they've done is this, you know, skein is like this, isn't it? They've done that with it.
Shocking.
They've done this with it, and then crammed it into a bag, so it had travelled like this. So, you know, when I opened it up, it was still kind of a bit like that. But also, it was pilly. The whole skein was pilly. And I've had this before with Loop, because if you've ever been to Loop, I've only been once, but I don't think they've changed anything. They store all their yarn in these huge cubes, and they're jam-packed full. And I think what's happening is people are taking them out to look at and then putting them back, taking them out and putting them back.
Yeah.
And it's getting pilled, you know. And it was a Madeline Tosh skein. It cost me over £20, and it's already pilly. Come like, you know, like that. I've said before, I'm not going to buy from Loop again, but that is it. I am no longer going to buy from Loop.
No. Well,
because it was just not a very nice experience.
No, not when so many people now, you know, getting yarn can be just wonderful.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you open the packet,
absolutely. You know, and it's part of the experience, isn't it? Especially when you've paid a premium, you want it to arrive in a really nice state.
Absolutely, you do.
Yeah.
And it's so disappointing. Because what it says to you is that the people who are selling it don't care.
Well, it feels a little bit like that, and I'm sure they do care, you know, I'm sure they do. But
the thing is, though, if you cared, you would treat your skeins of yarn.
Yeah, it feels like it's
respect.
not really being treated in the right way. It just kind of miffed me a bit, because I'm like, that poor skein of yarn, you know, being treated like that.
Yeah, I know.
So,
now,
rant over.
A couple of things. Supposedly, it's funny when we say salad cream.
Why?
I don't know. I would love to know why we supposedly we say it and it sounds a bit funny.
Salad cream.
Salad cream.
Why is that funny?
Is it up there with button?
Button. What's wrong with button?
Well, people used to ask us to say button.
No, people asked us to say. I don't think it was button. What was it?
Was it not button?
We don't say button.
I know we don't.
Why did you say it like that?
Because I seem to recall that was how it was insinuated that we said it.
Pattern. It was pattern.
Not button.
It was pattern.
I'm obsessed. The problem is the great badge debate. That's what's taken me down the button route. But we're not mentioning that. Oh no, pattern.
Pattern.
Yes, that's the other funny one.
Yeah.
Have we established why it's funny? No. Butter bottle.
Butter bottle. What's butter bottle?
Is that what he's got? It's something called butter bottle.
I will use it, Amy. I'm going to go and get it.
Yes, do.
Let me just show you.
Yes. Now, look, while she's doing that, let me tell you the other things that we're doing today. Talking about some of our favourite yarns of the year. We'll be reminiscing about our highlights, new adventures of Pudding Club, because they're, of course, now finished. And we also might, if we've got chance, we might just talk about what's been on our bookshelf recently.
Oh, right. Okay.
But go on.
It was this one. I've actually twisted it, but it was Mad Tosh Sock in toasted sugar, and it's like a peach with speckles. And the reason I undid it is because I was checking the speckle distribution. You know, I like to do that. So it's like peach with all these sort of different colour speckles, and I didn't like, I've got to be honest, I didn't like just, can you see this kind of blob of green here? That to me is not a speckle, it's just like a big blob of dye that's been put on there. So, I don't know. Yes, I mean, I'll definitely use it, but I'm not going to use it for the thing that I wanted to use it for, because it's just, I just don't like the blobbiness of some of those speckles.
Texas grunge.
Texas grunge.
Karen Potter's on form today. I have no idea.
Texas grunge.
Maybe that's the.
Well, I don't know. But can you see the pilliness? Look.
Yarn is dying.
That's not me, is it? Can you see how pilly that is?
It's
and
bad.
I just don't think that should be like that.
No.
You know, when I've just bought it.
Very pretty, despite the blob, Kate.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, the blob. Oh, that was a terrifying film. I used to watch that when I was younger.
It was just a great big
I know, but
Tarball.
I just remember seeing it from behind the sofa when I was like quite young.
It's right up there with the fog.
I don't think I should have been. Oh, that's scary.
That's scarier than the blob. No.
Yeah.
Neil, first things first, though. The first thing we need to discuss, and I need to get on my political soapbox.
Oh no.
Yes.
All right.
Because we need to get rid of the clock changing.
Did you all enjoy the clock change?
Those of you who have experienced it.
Because last night, early hours of this morning, wasn't it?
Whilst we're getting back that hour that was stolen from us, no matter how you approach it, it always ends in tears. And I'll tell you why. We had the most perfect plan. It was genius.
Did we?
We did. It was just the most tremendous plan to resolve the whole, because it's all right saying you've got an extra hour in bed. That's just not how we operate. When we are awake, we are awake. And I can't lay in bed for an hour going, you
can't tell your body, can you?
I'll just sit here for an hour now.
You know, you don't wake up when you normally wake up. Wake up an hour later. It doesn't work like that, does it? Your body clock is your body clock.
It is.
It's just like jet lag, but in a smaller way.
And half the issue with clocks is that you go to bed and then you wake up and the clock is still set to yesterday's time. So of course, the sort of the pro move is for the clocks which don't change themselves, but we'll come on to that in a minute.
Yeah. So
for the clocks that don't change themselves, I'm looking forward to this. For the clocks that don't change themselves, you set them an hour forward.
Yeah.
And for the clocks that do change themselves, my question is, which ones are they in the house? How are you supposed to know? Well,
you thought my bedside clock wouldn't change itself.
Which bedside clock?
The only one I've got on my bedside. The radio clock.
No, I knew that would change itself.
No, but so why did you make me take a clock upstairs then? You made me take the other clock upstairs and change the time.
Yes, because I didn't know. I wasn't certain if that clock would change itself.
That's what I just said.
No, you said that. I said it wouldn't change itself. I said, take up another clock, because otherwise we would have just altered it ourselves.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't sure if it was going to or if it was going to.
No, that's right.
So I thought to resolve the issue.
So he made me take another clock up, which I changed manually.
Yes, and what she did as well, which was beautiful, was she decided that it would be really fun to set the alarm on that clock for 1 a.m.
I don't know how I did it. The alarm started going off at 1 o'clock this morning. And I was like, what? And you were so funny. You went, oh, what's that? So I was like, oh my gosh, it's the alarm on that little clock. So I just started randomly pressing buttons on the back. However, it was a complete waste of effort because the clock on my bedside, the normal one, did change.
Yeah, but the problem is, Kay.
How do they change?
Look, we'll come on to that in a minute. The problem is this, right? When you go to bed, because it happens twice a year, doesn't it? And there's loads of clocks in the house. And how are you supposed to remember? Do you need to make a list of which ones do and which ones don't? This whole situation's ludicrous.
The one on the oven doesn't change.
No, I changed it.
You changed it because I heard it beeping last night. So I knew you were changing it.
My issue is, how are you supposed to know? How can you check? You can't find out if it's going to change itself or not, because that clock has sometimes not changed itself until you turn the radio on, because it's an RDS radio, which means it takes its information from the radio.
Right.
So I'm certain that in past years we had to turn the radio on for the clock to change.
It changed. However, how does the central heating change?
This
is the biggest mystery of life. Our central heating clock, which is now 13 years old, the system's 13 years old.
It is not online.
No, it's not online. It changes itself.
I think a man comes in from
How
British
does that
Gas.
happen? Do you think it breaks in at 2 o'clock in the morning and changes it twice a year?
It freaks me out.
It's the weirdest thing.
It is.
If anybody knows how that happens.
You see, the thing is that it doesn't even keep good time.
No, it doesn't.
But you see, it must just have in it a thing within its little computer.
It must do.
Which knows the date.
Well, that's amazing for a 13-year-old system.
Well, it is, because also There's nothing on it that says the date.
No, there
And
isn't.
you'd think if it had within it the capabilities to tell you the date, that it would do that too. It's a mystery.
It's very strange.
So look, I'm setting my stall out right now. I say that's it.
Yeah, well,
that's enough of it.
We're not going to change it anymore.
That's just not going to work.
We should just have our own time zone, shouldn't we? And just say, right, do you know what?
Bakerybear's meantime.
We're just not doing all this clock changing business anymore because it's just a nightmare. I actually prefer this one to the
Of
forward.
Course you do. Forward's an insult.
I don't like losing that hour, but gaining an hour is somehow not as offensive.
Well, it's not offensive until tonight. When I tell you,
when I'm really
when
tired.
You're feeling tired, and I say, well, you can't go to sleep yet
because it's only 8 o'clock.
Oh, we'll get an extra hour in bed. Oh, yeah, right. But then when it gets to bedtime, I firmly believe it gets taken back again because you want to go to sleep an hour earlier than you do, than you can.
Yeah.
But actually, and then the other thing then that happens, I don't know about you, but if the clock goes off in the middle of the night, you then spend the next 15 minutes worrying it's going to go off again.
No, I checked it.
I know you did.
Because I turned,
and then I huffed.
Because you got up and went to the bathroom, so I thought, right, I'll quickly turn the light on and just check I've turned.
And I'm sat there and I'm thinking, our whole plan's ruined because now the light's on, you're awake, you're trying to reset the clock. The whole game is up.
Yeah,
the jig is up.
It took me like 3 seconds, and I saw that I'd turned the alarm off. I thought, right, we're safe. Turn the light straight back off again.
Right.
So, well, it's the last time I listened to you telling me to take multiple clocks upstairs.
Why?
Because it was unnecessary.
How did we know? But you didn't know that clock was going to change.
No.
And my fear was that Kay would wake at her usual time, and she would end up downstairs at 4 a.m.
4 a.m. Yeah.
And that then would mean the next 3 months would be challenging. Look, that's enough.
I think we all agree that we don't like the clock change.
Stop it. I've had enough now.
No one likes it.
After 44 years of it, it can finish. Yes. And now it's time for us to talk about some of our favourite yarns of 2019.
Okay.
And I thought that I would begin. Because what I wanted to do, for me personally, I wanted to give you a sort of benchmark.
Oh, right.
So that you know what I'm working from. What is, if you were to say to me, what yarn have I knit with in my whole knitting career that I love the most?
Right.
Do you know what it is?
No.
It is this.
Oh, gosh, right. That is handspun from
Knit Natural.
Knit Natural, yes.
And it is Kessel Run.
Yeah.
And it was just wonderful to knit with.
You wear that all the time. Look how pilly it is. I need to get one of those deep pillory things. Pillory? You know what I mean. I haven't got one of those.
Oh, it looks good. It's a bankhead, of course.
Yeah.
And it's definitely my sort of go-to hat. It's just the right sort of length that I really like. But forgetting all that, the yarn was just wonderful to work with.
Can you remember what it was?
Textural Polworth.
Oh, Polworth's lovely, isn't it? I like Polworth.
There's some Polworth in there.
It's really soft.
There's also there was another couple of things in there, and I can't remember what. But it's really warm.
Nice. It's nice. It's not. There's maybe the merest hint.
The merest
mint of a prickle. I have to be careful saying that. But it's lovely.
Yes, it is. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was a joy to knit with. It had been washed in something amazing. I mean, to be fair,
it did smell lovely, didn't it? That skein.
Fondant Fibre used to do that too.
Yeah.
You know, some of the yarns that Deb, just stunning yarns. Yeah. My goodness, I've got another bankhead in some handspun from Deb, which was just tremendous. But this one, just the colours,
pick the pills off.
Everything about this was a joy, an absolute joy. So that for me, that's sort of my benchmark. Beautiful yarn, really beautifully spun, great dye job, soft, lovely, just great.
It is handspun, Mark. Yeah.
Yes.
Handspun. Yeah.
That's Brenda.
That's Brenda. Oh, it's Brenda, yes. Arnold. Oh, yes. It's Brenda. I was just thinking, I don't know a Mark. I'm so sorry for calling you Mark. I'm presuming that's your husband, is it?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, Brenda.
Please, now over to you.
Right. Well,
you don't have to give a benchmark. I think everyone knows what your benchmark is.
What's my benchmark?
I don't know.
I don't know really. What?
Well, I think that's a question for you to answer in November's P.O.P.
What my favourite ever yarn has been?
I don't think it's necessarily what your favourite ever yarn is. I think it is what is the yarn which you judge all other yarns against.
Right.
I would guess that at some point in your knitting life, you've knit with something and it's been like, my goodness, it doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah.
And perhaps the way to do that is maybe to revisit your previous season, previous year sort of roundups.
That'll take some thinking. It's a hard one, that, isn't it? I don't know that I could narrow it down to just one yarn. Because there's like, you've got different thicknesses of yarn, haven't you? And yarns for different projects. And I don't know. I just don't know that I could narrow it to one.
Well, tell us. But give us a sort of tip off as to what might be appearing.
Well,
but don't say.
This might be surprising because it's a commercial yarn. It's a yarn that I've knit with an awful lot. I've mentioned it quite a lot, and I just think it's a brilliant yarn. And I actually just cast on a new project with the yarn, and I thought, well, you know, I'm just loving it. I only started this yesterday, actually, but it is. I don't know if I've got the yarn, just the label, actually.
Do you know what I got for my mum for Christmas once?
What?
A thingy remover.
Oh yeah, a deep pillar.
It was like a shaver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get some that are electric, or you can get some that are just like a razor, can't you?
It wasn't very good.
No, I think the one that a lot of people tend to use, I can't remember the name of it, if anybody knows the name of it, but it just looks like a big razor without a blade on.
Well, I keep seeing the name Gleaner.
That's it.
Right. Gleaner is best.
Oh, well, I need to get myself a Gleaner, definitely. But it is...
Wow.
Cascade Heritage.
Wow.
Which, you know, it's a very easily accessible yarn.
Yeah.
I think it's $7.99 a skein. I think it's $7.99. It varies a little bit because sometimes I get it from Wool Warehouse usually, or Lovecrafts. They sometimes have sales on, but it's around about £8 for a 100-gram skein. And I've got loads of different colours. Whenever you see the solid colours up here, it's usually Cascade Heritage.
Yeah.
Because I use them. I've used them in my Bits and Bobs blanket, my Stitching Time blanket, loads and loads of blankets. Anytime I have to hold something double, I usually use it. And then I've used it in lots of socks. And I started a sock project yesterday, and I wanted to do stripes, and I wanted to stripe it myself. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I think I've got all the colours in my stash to do that. And I did.
Wow.
And I started a sock yesterday. So it's this. And can you see the little texture? I'm sure you can. What I've done is I took the little stitch that's in my Peter pattern, and I just knit it in a slightly different way to create a sort of faux rib, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah.
And I wanted to knit it in the colours of Peter Rabbit. So I chose these, which I think are very Peter Rabbit. I've just started putting that blue in for his jacket.
The expression is Peter Rabbity.
Peter Rabbity.
Yes.
And I think what I'm going to do, because I liked this so much, I think it looks super nice. Super nice. I thought I would do an update to the Peter pattern just to put in an alternative, you know, on how to use that little stitch. Cool. I called it the Hop 2 stitch if you've got the Peter pattern. Oh, hard to say. So I think I'm going to do an update to it. So everybody that's bought the Peter pattern,
there'll be two choices.
There'll be two choices.
There'll be the pattern that's in there now and this one.
Yeah, and then this is an alternative. Cool. So I think that'll be really nice. And it's just really nice yarn. It's super soft, you know, perfect for baby knits. It would be lovely for baby knits. It's got the nylon in, obviously, so it's great for socks. It's really hard wearing. Bryony's worn socks made out of this, and it does pill a little bit, I will say that, but no holes or anything so far. You've got to expect some pillage. That's the wrong word.
It'll do. Everyone knows what you mean.
Pillage. That means something else, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, you pillage if you're like a knight in medieval times.
yeah.
You go into villages and steal and burn down houses.
Okay, right. You know what I mean. Oh, I've lost track now. So yeah, I just really love this yarn. I think it's a great yarn and it's a great price. I just really enjoy knitting with it, and I know it's a solid colour, and you kind of think, would that be boring? But I don't find it. I don't find it boring at all. It's just really pleasant to knit with.
Yeah.
So Cascade Heritage.
That's your first one.
Yeah.
Cool. It'd be interesting to see if that appears on your top 5 yards
on
of
the top
2019.
5. Yeah.
Still 2 months to go.
Yeah.
2 and a bit months. So my first yarn of 2019 that I've been really enjoying knitting with.
Oh, right, yeah.
Drops Charisma.
Drops Charisma.
It's just, I've knit with this loads this year, and I did knit with it, quite a bit last year as well. But my goodness, it's just great. It really is. I'd used this in a couple of projects, haven't I? I mean, I've obviously, but
the Solia was no.
Yes, it was. And hadn't I used it in something else as well? I think
so.
Or have I used it in
you're
something?
using it at the moment, aren't you? Are you? No, you're not.
No.
But you have used it in a few things, definitely.
And at no point has it ever let me down. No. It always is fun to use, and it always looks good. And I think that it's brilliant price-wise. Yeah. And being able to spit splice with this. Yeah,
it's a superwash, so in theory you shouldn't be able to spit splice it, but we found that you can. Is it a C or a K for Charisma?
K.
It's a K, isn't it? Yeah, it's a K, Karen.
And I love this pattern.
It's really good.
I just actually gifted. No, what should I say? What's the English?
You've given it as a present.
Okay.
Gifted has become one of those things that everybody says, but I don't think it's
grammatically correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So I gave it to my brother for his birthday, and I mean, he looked really cool in it. He looked really cool in it. So I love as well the fact that this is clearly more of a lady's colour, I think. Although,
do you think so?
Well,
I don't think so.
To me, it seems quite feminine. Oh, maybe it isn't.
Gold, what with the gold, do you mean?
I think possibly it's because that Solia just looks so amazing on you. That colour.
The colour, yeah.
Just suits you brilliantly.
Whose hat is this?
Do you know what? I don't know.
Is it just a random hat that you made?
I don't think it's anybody's.
You did a very good job.
You're very kind. I really feel like this year.
Look. Isn't that good? Listen to me, all Yorkshire. Isn't that good?
That's fine. I really feel like this year I've made such great progress with colour work. And I'm so pleased about that because
it's really good.
I can't stand puckering. I can't stand it.
And there isn't any on this.
And
it's flat as anything.
Which is tremendous. I mean, that says a lot about the yarn though as well, doesn't it?
I think the yarn that you use for colour work does have a big effect on it.
Yeah.
Yarns that are proper wool yarns, I think are the best, aren't they, for colour work? And although this one is superwash, I find it performs very similar to a non-superwash.
It's lovely to wear as well.
Yeah, it's not really scratchy. It has got a bit of a prickle, but it's not super scratchy.
No.
It's not like what are the really scratchy ones? Like a sort of Norwegian-y sort of yarn.
Wensleydale's quite scratchy.
Wensleydale's quite scratchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not that,
but
it's really good.
This will always now be a yarn which, if I can knit a project, I'll be very happy to knit that project in it. And for me, it stacks up. These are two very different things. But my goodness, I enjoyed knitting with this every bit as much as I enjoyed knitting with
that's a very, very cheap, I won't say cheap, that's not a nice word, is it? But it's
well priced.
Yes, a very well priced yarn. And as is the Cascade Heritage. So that just goes to show you, doesn't it, that it's not all about spending a lot of money.
No. Lynn Yes, it's the Silver Dream hat.
Oh, yes, it is. That's right.
Yes.
And I wonder why. Did it come out too long? I think it might have come out quite long, this, and that's why.
Gemma, no, I'm not knitting.
Inexpensive. Thank you, Marlisha.
The drop.
Clearly lacking on the grammar.
Is it Drops Charisma or is it the other one? I think it's the other one, isn't it?
It's... What are you knitting the clay quad in? No,
there's two types of drops. There's Charisma and...
Alaska.
Yes.
I don't think... Is it Alaska that you're knitting that with?
I must be.
Is it Drops?
Oh, I'm not sure now. And I'm
no,
not got
I
it
think
here.
it's the DK weight. I think
so
it's
what
Charisma.
have I knit the Alaska in?
I think you're knitting the clay quad in Charisma.
Right.
That's why I was saying I thought there was one of them.
So what have I knit with the Alaska?
The purple one for your mum.
Ah, there you go.
What was that called? Samantha. The
yes.
Samantha was Drops Alaska.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look, I've gone red and blotchy because I do that. So sorry, I've gone blotchy.
Can we have another one of your...
Yes, the
yarns
other
you've
one.
been enjoying knitting with.
The other one. I spoke recently about this one on the podcast, and I love knitting with it, and I'm looking forward to knitting with it again. And it's the Eden Cottage Yarns Pendle Chunky. This is Marigold. And this is what I knit my moon dust in a different colour. But it's just absolutely gorgeous yarn. It's a 2-plied yarn, you can see. But it's so soft. It's just so lovely and soft. It's just it's merino, but it's super fine merino, super wash. And it's just gorgeous. And the colours are beautiful.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to knit with it again because
Yeah.
it just made such a lovely finished object. And you wore it recently.
It's great.
Didn't you? I haven't worn it yet because I've not felt it's been cold enough, but you wore it.
I did all day.
And you had it on all day.
I did.
Under your jacket.
Yes.
It was great.
It's a brilliant design.
Yeah.
With the greatest of respects.
I didn't mean it for that. I wasn't.
No, I realise that. But it is
wanting praise.
I realise that. But it is a brilliant design. And I'll tell you for why. I can't stand bulk around here if I'm out and I'm doing stuff. You know, if you're not doing much, if you were maybe stood around watching the Browns get beaten by the New England Patriots, then, you could probably then not have a problem with some bulk around your neck, something cozy to sort of disappear down into. But if you're active and we were out walking, to be honest, I think we probably spend the majority, certainly we spend the majority of our time when we're out wearing knitted stuff, we're doing something. So I don't want bulk.
No.
And this is just perfect because it's just one layer of material right round. It makes a nice collar around your neck so it keeps you nice and warm. And then inevitably, people don't walk around with their zips done up on their jackets, do they? Not all the way, not unless it's pouring down. And so you have your zip down, which, feels a bit more roomy and it keeps you warm and sunny. It was perfect. And I overheat.
You do.
So that says a lot about that yarn.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
It's gorgeous.
Not itchy.
And
lovely and
no,
comfortable.
Not itchy. And it is more pricey, let's say, than other yarns. But I think it cost me for 2 skeins because you need 2 skeins for it. With shipping, it was, I think, £42. So it's not the cheapest yarn. However, I think, sometimes it's nice to have that little treat, isn't it? And, I use Cascade yarn. We use the Drops yarn. We do use more economical yarns. So I think it is nice to balance that a little bit and have a treat.
Yeah.
So definitely worth a purchase. And she's had some fantastic colours of this in her shop recently. There was one that I saw just yesterday. Go look on her Instagram feed, Eden Cottage Yarns. Can't remember the name of it, but it was like bronzes and grey. It was absolutely gorgeous. And I thought straight away, I'd love another couple of skeins of that to make another one. But I resisted. So
it is gorgeous yarn. It looks so lovely.
Yeah.
And I love the name.
Pendle.
Chunky.
Chunky.
Makes me smile.
All right.
Makes me think of a mountain in Lancashire.
I'm climbing Pendle Chunky today.
There you go. Told you. It's the type of thing that you'd climb. You'd have a Scotch egg with you, and maybe a massive Cornish pasty.
Oh, I love I'd rather have a Cornish pasty than a Scotch egg, I've got to say. I love pastry though. I don't eat it a lot these days, but I do love it.
I can't think of many good Cornish pasties I've had in my life.
Well, you need to go to Cornwall.
You do.
Don't you?
You absolutely do. And I've never had one in Cornwall.
I've never made them. I think if you made it, you know, you'd be okay.
I'm certain of it. I'm certain of that.
I've never made it.
But the issue for me always is they're either too peppery.
Yeah, can't be doing with that.
Either the potato is not properly cooked. It's
Mm.
like got a load of bite to it, and that's just weird. And then the other thing is, I personally feel like every Cornish pasty I've ever had too much pastry.
I knew he was going to say that. I could never say that. I'd just eat the pastry and leave the filling. Oh, lovely. I do that with pork pies sometimes because I love pork pie pastry. Oh, that's amazing, isn't it? Oh, and because so you could eat the meat out the middle, and I could eat the pastry.
Of what?
Anything.
Okay. Something we were watching Downton the other day, yesterday.
Yeah.
And they mentioned, was it veal and egg?
A veal and egg pie. Yes, Mrs. Patmore had put one aside for them.
A veal and egg.
Veal and egg. It's only like ham and egg, I suppose,
Veal.
isn't it? Veal, isn't it? It's beef, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, back then, I'm sure that was probably.
Yeah.
A bit, but it's so sort of white and creamy, and
I wouldn't eat veal.
That'd be too much for me. No, not
I
good.
just don't eat veal at all.
Now, well, not many people do.
No.
It's not something that you see.
Yeah,
anywhere.
I know veal is a calf, and that's why I wouldn't eat it.
Well, and I don't think that's particularly a done thing very much anymore.
No, you don't. You couldn't go into a supermarket and buy veal.
And I've certainly not been eating in any high class restaurants recently, but in the times that we have been in such restaurants, I've never once seen veal on the menu.
No,
so I think it probably died out maybe a few years ago.
There was a big hoo-ha about it, wasn't it? Because of the way that they deal with it, but let's not go into that.
No. Now, there was just a slight sort of ripple in the sports ether just a moment ago, because Marlisha Fernandez said, "Go Patriots." Now, the Patriots are playing. Now, hang on. The Patriots are playing the Browns.
The Browns.
And have you not been extolling your love of the Browns recently?
No, wasn't that Talia?
Yeah, it was. But you would have thought there would be family allegiances.
Yeah.
Or is this going to be a tricky evening? Are you going to be on two sides of the table? Yes, they are, Dan. So now, do you mean that you support the Patriots and Talia supports the Browns? It's going to be an interesting evening. That's exactly what she means.
Yeah.
Well, Marlisha, let's be honest, it's not going to be an interesting evening at all. Because the Patriots are going to win.
Oh, so the Browns are playing the Patriots?
Yes.
Oh, no, that's a shame.
Thanks.
That's a shame,
All for
isn't
kind.
it?
Moving swiftly on to my next favourite yarn.
You've said two already.
No, I gave you a baseline.
I don't understand.
I have not knit with that this year. I wanted people to understand.
You're
always
reviewing
confusing.
Yarns.
You're always reviewing yarns, so people know the score with you.
Right.
I've never reviewed a yarn before,
Okay.
so I wanted people to see where my baseline was.
Oh, right.
Yeah?
Okay.
So this then means that when I pull this out and I say that I really like this,
everybody knows what that one is.
Of course they know what that is, but I always forget what the yarn is. It is King Cole Merino Blend DK Superwash Wool. Have I been space spliced? No, I haven't.
No, we've not been space splicing that one.
No.
I don't think it would work with that one.
This, in this colour...
It says it's anti-tickle. Is it anti-tickle?
That sounds like a Justin Fletcher
it
character.
Does. It's that one. And again, it's a very inexpensive, thank you, Marlisha, a very inexpensive yarn. $4.99, I think.
It's just
50 grams.
It's so great.
It's a really good yarn
to knit with. Now,
King Cole are a brand that have been around for a long time. My mum knit with King Cole years and years and years ago. Specifically,
it is this colourway.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Because I'm also knitting.
I had to hunt that down
right.
when I went, when I was trying to find it. It took a while to actually find it.
I'm not enjoying so much using this yarn on the hat. On
no, because it's thinner, isn't it? It's thinner.
It's thinner yarn.
It's 4-ply.
Okay, right.
It's the same base, but it's 4-ply.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
But this is truffle.
Specifically in this colour and this way, and it's just gorgeous. And
that's lovely.
It just doesn't look. It looks interesting. You know, it's not like a plain colour.
It doesn't look like an inexpensive yarn. I
No.
think is doesn't at all. I don't think.
I mean, it really does look like you know, a really sort of
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
You'd expect to pay Vicuna money for this.
Oh, get on. Oh, can you imagine a jumper out of Vicuna?
Now, you had a message, didn't you, from someone?
I did. There's it's in the Ravelry thread.
Before you say, just in case anyone's not seen it, I'm sure probably everyone has, but Knittle Forfeit's back. Oh yes, Kate played her first round, and one of the questions in there was all about Vicuna. Well, we established that yes, it's available on Amazon, and it is
go buy yourself a ball, everyone.
£229 plus £4 shipping.
You'd think they'd do the shipping for nothing, charging you £225 for a ball of wool. I mean, for goodness sake.
But we asked the question on the show.
If anyone had knit with it, and someone had replied in the Ravelry thread for the episode. You can go and read it in full. But it was basically a lady who said, yes, she had knit with it, and she used to knit for a big yarn designing company, and she was asked to knit a hat, and it was in Vicuna yarn, and she said that the yarn got delivered by a chauffeur in like a Mercedes.
You see, that wouldn't have been a chauffeur, that would have been a hard man.
She said, yeah, he seemed, like not your regular delivery driver. There's 4 balls of Vicuna yarn, and she knit a plain hat. It was like the double layered hat that I'm knitting. She said it was like that. So you needed quite a bit of yarn. But she knit the hat and then sent it back with the same man in the Mercedes, and had to sort of send back all the leftover yarn and everything. And he weighed all of the yarn before he took it away to make sure that it was all there. And then she said later on, a few weeks later, she was in a waiting room and she was reading a magazine, and she saw this model, or she said it was an actress actually, wearing a hat. And she says, do you know what that looks like, the hat that I knit? And it turns out it was. And somewhere within the article, she'd worked out that this person had paid £2,000 for this hat.
Gosh.
And it's the one that she'd knit.
That's insane. Vicuna is related to the llama, isn't it?
I think so. I think that's what you said. Yeah.
It's
a small animal.
It's an ancestor.
Right.
So it comes higher up the sort of family chain.
And I read somewhere, somebody had posted somewhere as well and said that it's a small animal and it lives wild. And because it lives wild, when they want to get the fleece off them, you know, it's a lot harder work. Because they live wild, and it's also takes longer to grow. And because it's a small animal, you need more, and all of these factors mean that it's like super expensive. But it's very soft, apparently, which you would hope, wouldn't you? And soft and very light.
Anyone who can access the gold edition of Knit or Forfeit, all the research notes from the questions are there. So there's links on there for Vicuna, and also those amazing shepherds from the Landes region of France. My goodness. I've actually changed the photo on the episode thread now. I mean, we put the photo in the show anyway, but if you want to look at that photo again, just go look at the episode, because the photo on the front of the episode before you hit play, it's that picture, and it's just amazing. How did they do that?
Well, there was 3, wasn't there? Because when you said stilts, I thought you meant 2 stilts. They had 3. It was like a tripod.
Okay. How did they move the 3rd stilt?
I have no idea. No idea, but it is. It's like it was like look at the photo.
Wow, gosh,
there's 3 stilts.
That's amazing.
Yeah, wow. I don't know how they moved the 3rd one, because we've only got 2 legs. Obviously.
That's conversation for another time, maybe. Look, that is our sort of favourite yarns so far of 2019, and tune in 31st of December for you to get the full top 5 rundown. And if you want to review the yarns that she loved in previous years, I think we've got 4 episodes now in this series. There might even be 5 episodes in this series of your top 5 yarns series.
Wow.
You can access it via the website. If you just go and look at the reviews tab on the watch page, you can get access to all of those videos and watch it. Now, we've got some prizes to draw.
We have.
How exciting. The Great Pyramid Cal and Run is progressing amazingly.
Oh, one of the prizes is over there.
Go get it, go get it.
I've got to get up twice, haven't I?
Thank you all so much for just the activity is just great. I'm obviously sort of heading up the running and walking team, and it's just been nuts. And I know it's been the same for you as well.
Yes.
Look at this yarn though.
Right, well,
it's gorgeous.
We've got 3 prizes. 2 of them are going to be pattern prizes, and then 1 is a physical prize. Now, the physical prize is a yarn that I'm using right now to, how will I word this without giving anything away? It's connected with the advent calendar, and it's something super secret. And I used this exact yarn. So I thought it would be nice to get another ball and to use this as a prize so that someone has got the exact yarn I used when it gets to that point in the year. So this is the yarn. It's Regia, as you can see, Regia Premium Silk 4-ply. And it's a blend of merino, silk and nylon. And this colour is the one I used, and it's called Apricot. It's 100 grams, sock weight yarn. So this is one of the prizes.
That's amazing.
And
I'm just going to try something while you're...
came in a little bag, so I'm going to pop it back in that little bag. Are you opening the blind?
I just wonder if... I just want to get to the bottom of this.
With the lighting.
What the right way to work the camera is, because I just wonder if I shed more light into this.
More natural light.
More natural light, if that will improve the picture. Has it improved any?
I don't think it's quite as blowy outy.
Right. Well, let's
oh, I look darker now, but maybe when you come back into the picture, it'll. See, it's darker.
The picture seems clearer, though.
Does it?
It's like a constant conundrum.
And what do colours look like? What does that colour look like? See, the colour now looks more like the colour.
Right.
It's an apricot, peachy apricot.
Yes.
That's a much better colour, actually.
You're both quite a bit darker. They preferred it before.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It was better before. Well,
We've
put the blind down.
Yes.
Put my new blind down.
We need electric ones.
We don't want electric ones.
Have you drawn the prize yet, then?
Yes, well, no, that's the prize, and the winner of that. Hang on, let me look up notes. Here we go. The winner was number. So this is from the FO thread, the Pyramid FO thread, and it's number 1906, and it's Sarah Jo Makes.
Woohoo!
And that's Sarah from Newark.
Wow.
In Nottinghamshire. My mum used to live quite close to Newark.
For a minute, I thought you meant Newark in New York.
In New York, I know.
I
thought it
airport.
was when I saw Newark.
Right.
I was like, oh, it's in America. No, it's not. It's the Newark in this country. So, Sarah, when you see this, just get in touch with me. Give me your full name and address, and I'll get that sent out to you. Hey.
I think Karen's being cheeky, Karen Potter.
Why?
Because she said, Dan, stand back there.
Stand back there. Why?
Probably because I'm further away from the camera.
All right. And then we've got 2 pattern prizes, and what I thought I would
3 pattern prizes.
Oh, 3. You've got 1 for
yes.
I haven't drawn for the running thing.
Well, of course not.
Have you done that?
Oh, do you want to do everything?
No, I don't.
I'm the captain of the running / walking team.
I thought you were implying then that I should have drawn that one.
No, most valuable player. Performer.
So, the 2 prizes for the knitters, Pyramid Cal.
And also for the
You're going to confuse me.
Sorry.
Stop confusing me.
Sorry.
Are pattern prizes, as I've said. And what I thought I would do is give away my Miss Potter 2 Sock Club pattern club. Oh, dear. You know what I mean. So the first winner of that is number 1856. And that's Jennifer Errands. Jennifer Errands. She is on Ravelry. It's Jennifer, and she's in Manitoba in Canada.
Cool.
So Jennifer, you've won the Miss Potter 2 collection.
Why is Manitoba? Why is that familiar to me?
Manitoba?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting. Well done, Jennifer.
And then the second person to win the collection, the Miss Potter 2 collection, is number 2041, and that's Auntie Moll on Ravelry, and that's Moll in Norway.
Wow.
So we've got Norway, Canada, and Nottinghamshire.
Amazing.
So Moll and Jennifer, you've won the Miss Potter 2. Now, I did go and check on my sales, and I don't think you've purchased this collection. I hope I've looked at my figures correctly. So would you both just send me a quick message just to let me know you've seen this, and then I will send you the pattern collection through. And
also the most valuable player is also
gets the Miss Potter 2.
Yes. And this person has been performing throughout the year to an exceptional standard when it comes to putting in the miles, but also encouraging others to also put in the miles. And it sort of rolls off the tongue. You were saying how cool it was with the different places that were there. So we had Newark in Knoxville, Manitoba, we had Norway, and now we have Barnsley.
Barnsley,
which I'm
how
sure
fabulous!
Is it Barnsley? Oh no, I can't remember where Helen Morton lives. Where
She
does
doesn't
Helen
live in
Oh, sorry.
Barnsley.
Is it Huddersfield?
Huddersfield.
Right.
It's, Helen, it's a H word. That long place where she lives.
Huddersfield.
No, is it Heckmondwike?
Heckmondwike.
I think it's Heckmondwike.
Yes, it is.
Isn't that a great name?
Well done.
Helen Morton.
Well done, Helen.
Fantastic.
Oh yes. So also.
Helen, get in touch with me just to let me know you've seen this, and then I will send you that collection through on Ravelry.
And
and the third pattern hasn't been released yet, so it's still ongoing.
Yes. And if people aren't using Ravelry, if anyone wins who doesn't use Ravelry, then we'll send through the patterns.
I can email you the pattern.
Absolutely.
Patterns, yeah.
And you can obviously also, anytime now with regards to competitions, you can either send us a message through the website, or if you know, hopefully you guys will know, given the emails that sometimes come out from us, you'll know Dan at bakerybears.co.uk, similarly Kay at bakerybears.co.uk, and you can drop us a line that way too.
Michelle is asking, is there a thread that explains how to take part? In the pyramid, Cal, do you mean, Michelle?
There is.
Yes, if you mean the pyramid one, then yes, there's a thread in our Ravelry group. If you just go and have a look, there's two. One's a chatter thread, one's an FO thread. All you have to do basically is anything that you've knitted this year, you can go and post a picture, and then the chatter thread tells you how many blocks, how many pyramid blocks each finished item is. So you just make a little note of that when you post your entry.
Look, I think we're in an interesting position here.
Are we?
Because I think we perhaps need to, with the Bakery Bears Advent Calendar, what we normally do is we normally keep it super, super secret.
Oh, somebody asked.
Right the way up until we drop the trailer. But given what's going on in a proportion of the Advent Calendar, I wonder if perhaps we should say what is going on.
All right, okay. All right, okay. 20.
Yeah, but we don't want to give away too much.
No.
So.
You're right, okay. You sprung that one on me.
Well, I just think people are asking questions. You've done that.
Okay.
People are going to want to know.
Okay, because yes, do you know, it's a fair point, because actually you might want to purchase some yarn and have it ready, or you know, I'm hoping that people will have yarn in their stash actually. What we're going to do as part of the Advent Calendar this year is included within it, there's going to be a mystery knit along. So I'm not going to say any more than that. That's all I'm going to say, yeah?
Yes.
So to take part in that mystery knit along, really all you will need is 100 grams of a sock weight yarn. There's an option to add a different colour if you want to as well, but you don't have to do that. So that's all you're going to need to take part, and it really needs to be to show off the design
what it is.
the best. It needs to be a solid like this or a tonal. You don't want a variegated, you don't want, you know, a yarn with lots of colour going on. So this is perfect. The yak version of this would be brilliant that I used for the Whispers in the Wall. There's a Regia Merino yak. That would be perfect. Cascade Heritage would be fantastic. What Knit Picks do, like a solid range, don't they, of sock yarn? That would be spot on. So you're just going to need 100 grams of a sock weight yarn in whatever colour you want. That's entirely up to you.
Karen Potter's got 6,000 grams of sock weight yarn.
6,000? Well, you're not going to need quite that amount. I wonder if how many balls of yarn is that?
You can work that out after we finish filming.
60. Is it 60?
Look, Wood, come on.
60 times 100. Is that right? So, yeah, that's what you're going to need if you want to take part in the mystery knit along that will be part of the advent calendar.
Honestly, folks, I'm trying to think of words that I can use to describe it without saying bad words, because it's so unbelievably exciting.
Well, do you know what? I had this idea to do this.
It's blooming tremendous.
I had this idea in one of my mad idea moments that I sometimes have. And I mentioned it to you a couple of months ago, didn't I? And I said, look, should I do this? You know, I really want to do this. And you were like, that's a great idea. I think you should do it. So I planned it all out, and I worked on the thing and worked out a way of making it fit within the right number of days that we wanted it to fit in.
Because the other thing that we really wanted to do was, with the advent calendar this year, with an advent calendar, you normally get something, don't you? And yes, in previous years, we've given you, a fun, festive video.
Which are still going to be there. Yeah, don't panic.
I'll just touch on a tiny bit on that. But what we wanted to do is we wanted at the end of the advent calendar for you, if you want, if you want to join in, you'll physically have something mystery, new, and stupendously exciting. It's been the most fun thing to sort of plan and put together, and because also for the first time, it's been marrying up the filming with you creating something, and we've never done that before. That's been tremendous fun. It's been great for me to film. So the way it's going to work is it's going to alternate day to day. One day, I think it's the odd days, which because I'm odd. The odd days you're with me, and the even days you're with Mrs. Jones in like Santa's grotto. And it's not just.
I've just realised something.
What?
You can totally see the Christmas tree
Stop pointing things out. No one would look, would they?
Okay.
You're such a fool.
Maybe they didn't see that.
But do you think anyone would have noticed? Would they've gone, oh, look at that behind there?
I don't know. Sorry, I'm only human.
So you join. It's like, and it's not just. You don't just do that. It's like no. There's more. There's more. So it is just. It's going to be amazing fun. And
it's the same but different. And I've really enjoyed. I've really enjoyed coming up with this design, and I've loved every bit of it. Every bit of I've enjoyed the film. I won't go any further. But it's just been really great, and I really hope you like it. I was really nervous about doing it because
she's never spent this much time in front of camera.
No, it's really. I just find it really hard sitting in front of the camera by myself. I just really kind of so. It's just. I mean, you're there behind the camera, but it's just not the same as having him sat here. No. And I felt really uncomfortable, but I think I'm getting more used to it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I'm talking about all kinds of things, and Christmassy things, and it's just been really nice.
Yeah.
And you get, like Dan says, you'll get a lovely something
at the end.
At the end of it. So
you won't know what.
I really hope you like it because I'm kind of nervous about it. There's one person out there that's here today that has seen it.
Wow.
I'm not going to say who that person is.
No.
But she liked it. So.
Good, cool. So that's just the most fun thing ever to look forward to. It's going to be such a fun and exciting way to end the year because we've loved more than ever this year New Adventures and Pudding Club. There's been so many highlights. For me, it was the coconut cake most definitely. But there's other things as well, in that series that were just absolutely wonderful. And then also with New Adventures, it was just so tremendous to be able to pull together some sort of aspirational shows that we've always wanted to do. Telling the Cook story, and that was just so great. And finishing up, in Hartlepool. Yeah. Was just the business.
Yeah, it was lovely.
It really
lovely.
it just bookended the series in such a cool way.
And I think, we're always constantly trying to do new things and different things. And I really enjoy thinking of, I really enjoy the creative side of it. And I've been really struggling lately, actually, because this past couple of weeks, because I finished big sort of collections of designs and I didn't really have anything kind of on the go. And I thought that would be good for me to have a little break. But it turns out it's absolutely not. I need that stuff going on in my brain.
Creatives
and
do.
I've really struggled the past couple of weeks because I've just felt just not right, out of sorts. I've just not been right. I've not been able to settle into any of my other knitting, and so like casting on that sock that I just showed you, and then I've got another thing in mind that I'm going to do as well that I've just ordered some yarn for, and I just think I'm one of those people that's got to have stuff going on in my brain.
So that is what makes us even more excited about getting into the sort of advent calendar and getting the filming all done, and then launching it on the 1st of December. But not only that, New Adventures might have finished, but I'm so enthused about the specials that we're going to do. The Christmas special is, here's the tape. I'm petrified about this.
I know, we've not done anything with it yet, have we?
No, I mean, there's going to, and actually what I think I'm going to do, because it's going to be quite a moment when we hopefully get this up and running. I think what we might do is on the special gold edition of the Christmas New Adventures, we might do a behind the scenes, it all coming together, because there's an awful lot of things that we want to cover in that Christmas special, because I'm going to be going back to the place where I grew up, where I was brought up, and then retracing my footsteps to the Minster, and uncovering the story of Christmas at the Minster will just be amazing. But then also picking up on, we went to Bedale and we discovered the story of Sir Brian Fitzalan, and we established that he was the Lord of the Manor from the village where I grew up. Well, we're going to uncover his story, and we're going to go to the Manor House, which is now actually a woman's prison.
Woman's prison, it is.
I won't be going in, but I will be exploring the village, because that's also where my primary school is. It's just going to be tremendous. So much to look forward to. And we've overrun. How exciting.
Gosh, we're 2 minutes over.
The next pop, the final pop actually of the year, because if you remember, in December, that rhymed, you get a Christmas message on Christmas Eve. Yes. So the final live show of 2019 will be on the 24th of November at 2 p.m. GMT. Oh, yes. Right. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Good, cool. So we can't wait to see you then. And by then, we'll be gearing up for, I can't remember when the final Knit or Forfeit is. I think we'll be getting ready for the final round of Knit or Forfeit then. There's been so many messages from people so happy that it's back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Which has been great. So it was just, I think it's such great fun, because knitting is just, there's so many interesting facts linked to it. I would never have.
And I've got to come up with some really hard questions.
I want to be stretched. So my victory will be
because
all the
sweeter.
sweeter.
I think my questions were really tough. Like completely random questions that you wouldn't have a clue about, and I couldn't even guess. So I've got to come up with some really hard questions.
You did guess my favourite sweater, my 2025.
I knew that one.
You did.
Yeah, I knew that one.
And someone asked me earlier if there was any Star Wars projects in my future. Yes, there absolutely is. Star Wars knitting projects, and that will be Nutella Datura.
Oh, what's it called?
Well, that's not Star Wars, it's Ocean. I'll definitely be knitting that when I get good enough. But there's a Star Wars hat which someone gifted me, which is tremendous. But also there's some other Star Wars jumpers which she's done. So I will, in the future, be knitting those. The first thing, though, I will do is the hat, which someone very kindly gifted me, because it's just great. It doesn't feel Star Warsy, but it does if you look closely. Folks, thank you so much for watching. It's actually quite warm in here, isn't it?
It's boiling in here now. Even though it's quite cold outside, it's been quite chilly, hasn't it? Which has been nice.
Yes.
Just lately. But it rained and rained and rained yesterday, and now the sun's blazing. So we've got the door shut, so it is quite warm.
Folks, we will see you on the 24th of November for the next Pop Live. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day, and you can all cheer when the Browns totally beat the Patriots. Bye.
Bye.